Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Okay, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Juniper Berry Joel and Captain Crunch Katrina.
Hey guys, what's up? Juniper berry. Wow, all right.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so we are back for the next film in the Scream franchise, Scream 2.
Oh yeah.
From 1997. Oh, just a year after. Huh. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's literally 1 year.
All right, Joel, who do we got?
All right, so we've got, again, Neve Campbell. She was in 3 to Tango, 25 episodes of House of Cards.
Really?
And Drowning. Yeah.
Huh. In the first season, or?
I don't know. I've only there are only 10 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And I've only seen the first season of it so far, and she's not in it yet. So, okay. And then Drowning Mona, which is a Danny DeVito movie.
Okay.
And then we've got Liev Schreiber. He is Cotton Weary. He was in Phantoms, The Manchurian Candidate, The Omen, the remake of The Omen, yes. And his show, I don't remember exactly what channel it was on, but Ray Donovan, the series, which is also getting a movie apparently coming out next year.
Huh. Okay.
And then we've got Timothy Oliphant. He's Mickey. He was in Dreamcatcher, Hitman, The Crazies, which is probably my favorite movie of his.
Oh, that is him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just one movie we need to review at some point. And the Deadwood series, which also had a movie, and the show Justified.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been in a lot.
He was young in that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I like him. I didn't really care for him so much in this movie, but I like him as an actor overall. Cool.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely grown as an actor for sure. And this was written once again by Kevin Williamson. He wrote Teaching Mrs. Tingle.
Okay.
Which is it was another one of those fun, like, kind of horror movies. Cursed, with I think Christina Ricci. And he is the creator of the Vampire Diaries as well.
Oh, wow.
So he's done quite a few stuff here. We've got directed by Wes Craven, another Wes Craven one. And he directed Swamp Thing, Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy, and Cursed. He also directed Cursed.
Oh, I didn't know he was the director of that.
Yeah, I didn't either until I looked that one up.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
All right, so 2 years after the first series of murders...
2 years? Really?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So we're jumping ahead in time?
Wait.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Because this movie came
out a year after.
Yeah, a year after, and this is 2 years.
See.
Okay. I don't even know if they really say that in the movie. Do they say
that
2 years ago?
Years?
I don't remember them saying it.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't
there may
know.
have been like 2 years later or something at the bottom, like written down, but I don't remember seeing that either.
Yeah,
so,
I don't remember that, and it's like it's not necessary for it to be 2 years later because she hasn't joined like a fraternity club or what house or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorority house or whatever. They're still trying to get her into it. So it could be her freshman year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a senior in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. Yeah, well, but a book and a movie had to be done. So a book had to be written and a movie had to be filmed and everything. Yeah. So, I mean, it would make sense for it to be 2 years, but they didn't really say that.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie came out a year after the first one. So that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 years after the first series of murders, as Sydney acclimates to college life, someone donning the Ghostface costume begins a new string of killings.
Oh, man.
Yes. So, this one, for me, it's a step down, for sure.
Yeah.
I like this movie less and less each time I watch it.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
I'm curious why.
Well, the acting is not as good. It's, I think, a lot more corny than the first one. I think Dewey and Gail's whole thing is just really corny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The music, I don't like. It's like constant music throughout the whole movie. There's constant background music. Some of it is just corny. Yeah. Especially with Dewey. Like, the music that, like, dong, dong, dong.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
It does get kind of cheesy in that.
I do like some of the scenes. The
dong,
singing.
dong, dong, dong.
The singing scene with the boyfriend in the, like, cafeteria. Like,
Yeah.
what? That was pretty random.
Well, Mickey says it's a Top Gun reference.
Yeah,
I know, but I don't care about
So, you know,
that Top Gun and like what the heck.
Well,
It's
yeah,
so out
that's
of
what's
place.
interesting is why did they choose to reference Top Gun?
Yeah, this is a horror film. It's Scream. You're not. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are some of my problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're definitely much more severe than the first film.
Severe. So, wow.
It's very severe.
I mean, you also have to take into account that, I mean, it literally did come out a year after the first one did. So you've got a lot of like writing to do. You've got, you've got to make a movie within 1 year.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it came out that quickly.
Yeah, I am too, actually.
Yeah, and I wonder why they chose to put it out so quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, usually if a film does so well, like Scream did, they try to bank off of that as quickly as possible. Especially slashers, like they're pretty notorious for doing that.
Yeah.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street, they all came out like back to back to back to back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saw, same thing.
But the quality also like plummets pretty like this one is definitely a weaker sequel, a weaker movie to Scream, but it's still a good movie overall. Like it doesn't really plummet that much.
Yeah.
To me, but yeah.
So what did you like about it, Joel?
I liked the acting for the most part. To me, was good. Like there may have been scenes or different characters here and there, like Scream 1 had, that kind of the acting wasn't great, but overall I thought the acting was pretty good. And I like the when you figure out who the killers are. Mm-hmm. That one, both of them to me kind of caught me off guard. Like with Billy in the first one, I feel like they kind of made it obvious on purpose to kind of be like, okay, it's not going to be him. It's too obvious for him to be the killer. But I didn't know Mickey was going to be the killer.
Yeah.
And also I love that it was Billy's mom that was the other killer.
Yeah.
That one made a lot of sense to me because it's like, okay, well, Billy was a psychopath, like just to be a psychopath. So it's got to come from somewhere,
right?
And you find out that it came from the mom, and I definitely liked that aspect. It was different. It's different to see an actual adult be the killer.
Sure.
In this, because even Mickey's a college student. Like he's still, he's the same age. Well, yeah. I'm talking like an adult. Like
not a grown up yet.
Someone who's twice the age of these kids.
Yeah. He was more the Stu character.
Yeah. He was definitely more the Stu, for sure. It definitely has its issues for the most part, but I still thoroughly enjoy this movie. Okay. It's definitely not as good as the first, and none of them probably will be.
Yeah. True.
Especially to Katrina, who gave it a near 100%.
Oh, I have other problems. I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Well, I want to share some of mine to see if they match.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to share some of mine, but okay. What you were saying about Mickey being the killer. Okay. Here's the thing though, is we didn't see him very much in the movie. Like he only made a few appearances.
Yeah, he was here. Yeah, he was around, but yeah, he wasn't like one of the main characters.
Yeah, and he wasn't as like fun of a character as Stu.
Yeah.
I didn't say he was like the best reveal of all of them, but
and he does like he is like the Stu of the, of the duo.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know, he could have been more significant in the movie.
Yeah.
What bugged me is the constant cotton part of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I got that it's like it's trying to throw you off and all that, but it was too forced. It didn't feel like just genuine and like and so random for him to show up at the library like that.
That part,
and and like all of a sudden in her face and trying to convince her to do this show, like
the Diane Sawyer
interview. Diane Sawyer interview. Yeah.
And then Dewey and I was gonna say Monica, Gail were like in the first movie. It's like they ended up having some chemistry and all that, and they were too. I don't know. Some of it was fun, but it wasn't that.
It was awkward.
Yeah, it wasn't that nice, fun. Dewey and Gail.
Yeah.
What's funny is they were actually I think they were actually dating in this movie. So
I thought that they were married already.
No, I think he proposed to her on the set of Scream 3.
Oh, okay.
From what I.
Okay.
Well, that's why.
So it's funny that you say that there's a lack of chemistry when they were actually dating in real life.
Well, yeah, and I thought they were dating in the first one.
I think that's when they met.
But that's when they met. And so that's it. It's a classic. What Joey would say is, that they're sleeping together once there's no chemistry on
when there's
set.
no heat.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. And they didn't seem to have chemistry until their last time together.
Yeah.
Where then she gets on top of him and is, know, and it's like, oh, now they seem like.
Yeah. Seems
each other again.
Yeah, it seems right.
Yeah. So anyway, that I feel like Courtney Cox's acting. Hers was the one that was off this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how she survived this many movies. Like her she does not have a very good character until like the last 10 minutes of each of these movies. Like her character in this leading up until like the reveal and everything is just, she's a horrible person. She's not a nice person.
Yeah.
If she were anyone else, she would have been killed off in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like the scene with Dewey and Randy when they're talking at the college about sequels. And Randy's talking about how it's got to be bigger, it's got to be bloodier, there's got to be more kills, and so he's again the one who brings the horror connection to the movie.
Yeah,
and it could be anybody. It could be you, could be me. Like that whole conversation was just that.
What if it was
awesome.
both of them? That would have been.
I almost wanted it to be Randy though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just for like a fun twist.
I feel like Jamie Kennedy could pull that off too.
And even when they were talking when he was talking to Dewey.
Yeah.
And then Dewey's like, well, then that means that it could be you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, so let's change the scenario. Then,
Yeah.
And it was like, man, maybe it could be him.
Yeah.
And I would have rather him been the killer than him gotten killed off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, he would have died anyway in that movie if he was the killer.
Or somehow he lives, and then him and Stu end up being
both the killers in this one. Oh man,
wouldn't that be awesome?
They'd have to explain two things because what happened in that van then? If he comes back in this new movie,
I don't think you could bring him back, but he should be.
He looked.
And they reference him being dead in the third one too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does have a little cameo in that one.
So here's the thing, though, about that part. This is just me, but Pacey was in that. Pacey is from Dawson's Creek.
Okay,
I don't know his name.
What? Sarah Michelle Gellar?
No, Pacey is the boyfriend from
Dawson's
Creek.
Oh yeah.
I
forgot what his name was.
Yeah,
are you talking about the boyfriend from Scream 2?
He's in literally one scene.
He was in that one scene.
Oh,
he's in Urban Legends too.
I wish he would have been in more of the movie.
Huh?
And he would have been better for that part of
Mickey?
That other killer. I don't know. I just feel like if they're gonna give us a little bit of him.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Was Dawson's Creek out yet? But like, it's like Pacey, and then he's not in the rest of the movie.
Pacey. Oh my gosh.
I do love that scene that he was in, though.
Yeah.
When, they're talking about the sequels.
Yeah.
They're having their sequels discussion.
Yeah, and he's in like the front row.
Oh, you're talking about in the classroom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about when Dewey and Randy are talking.
Oh, no.
Just them two talking.
Oh, we were talking
That's
about
what I was
the
talking
sequels.
about.
I was talking about when you were saying
okay, but yeah, there is that scene in the classroom where they're arguing about can sequels be better than the original or whatever.
Yeah.
I liked that.
I love that discussion, yeah.
Yeah.
Randy's like, by definition, they're inferior films.
Yeah.
As you're in a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is inferior, by the way.
That's,
to its original.
This one, I feel like it maybe did a better job at poking fun at itself because it was a sequel and they were talking about sequels.
Yeah.
Being not as good and, different things. Or maybe just as good.
I think it was just the same as poking fun at itself.
Yeah.
And it's both when Randy's having this conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
It's always with Randy.
I liked a few things I really liked about the movie is that it really, like, the fact that they're having this conversation in a classroom would be like, why are you having this conversation in a classroom? But they're in a film class.
Yeah.
And so I like that things are explained. And even when Dewey gets stabbed and lives, they explain it by like, oh, good thing you have all this scar tissue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
because he's stabbed multiple times, I think.
He's like bleeding out the mouth and everything.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you should be dead right now.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous that he's alive in the first place.
Yeah.
But then they explain it, and it's like such a fun, ironic way that he survived, because he has the scar tissue from the first movie. So
yeah, I will say there is one thing that I liked about Randy getting killed in this movie, is that it sets you up to be like, okay, well, if you can kill off a character from the original movie, from the first movie, that should mean that everyone is up for grabs. Basically, you can kill off anybody, but they don't in the next two movies. They still like
the originals.
It's still the remaining three people. Like, okay, well, there goes that theory.
So why
it's
Randy?
like,
I would have rather Dewey died than Randy.
Or Gale, even.
Or Gale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randy, I feel like that's my biggest
Dewey's
issue.
look in the trailer for this new movie. He's got this like rugged, like...
Yeah, he's
I've been
a tough guy. Yeah.
Cop on the force for 50 years, kind of...
Alcoholic.
I'm hoping he's not... I want like a serious Dewey in this new movie.
Yeah. It definitely, the trailer looks a lot more of a serious
it does.
Tone. So we'll see. But yeah, Randy dying is probably my biggest negative for this. I like that scene too when they're looking for the person on the cell phone. I thought that scene was cool. And then he just had to die. But it was funny. So he gets killed in the van, and he's like making all this noise, and then these like guys walk by with this huge boom box.
Yeah.
Like just blasting the music right in front of where he's being killed.
Right, yeah.
Which was so 90s.
Yeah, and I felt like that was almost like, that was just funny. Like that, because it's a giant boombox that he's holding.
It explains why no one heard him like screaming. Like it's a ridiculous kind of thing to have happen like right then. But it's an important part to why nobody heard him like screaming or anything like that. So it kind of, they, you know, even scenes like that, they have ways of of making it make sense. It just looked funny. What did you guys think about the opening scene?
Oh yeah, really liked that.
I have issues with it.
Okay.
You really liked it?
Yeah, I like the opening. Well, and another thing that is hilarious about that is the theater is just going nuts.
Yeah. Theaters used to do that kind of thing when like
not like that much though.
Well, people would be dressing up and everything. I'm sure most of the people in there are like high school or like you know, kids basically.
It was,
and kids are ridiculous. Wild. They can be. And I think people dress up as the characters
but they don't
that they're going to go
like
see.
Maniacs.
They were like
running around, stabbing each other,
and
screaming, throwing popcorn. Like, I don't know, that was a little over the top. Like a lot over the top. It was funny.
My main issue with that whole scene is how, like, why those two in particular?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't couldn't have been some random killing, because he had to have known exactly where they were both sitting.
Yeah.
In like a theater full of people.
Yeah.
Like he, you know, sits down like right next to her after killing her boyfriend in the stall, and it's like, okay, you just immediately knew exactly where she was sitting.
Well, he was, or she was, you know, obviously there and watching, and it said that the connection to the killings was like the names. Was connected to the killings in the first one, which I thought was really far fetched and kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's the part that bugs me, is like that they tried to make it a connection.
Yeah,
because
neither one of the actual killers, they weren't. I mean, at least the mom had a different kind of, like, they weren't copycat killers. Like this was something different.
Yeah, Mickey was.
So Mickey was wanting to make it, that's the that's the whole reason behind it, and that's how I'm going to get away with it.
Yeah.
So it was explained
blame the
why
movies kind of thing.
They started in the theater.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't seem smart enough to actually be able to like, okay, well, this person was Casey, so I'm going to kill another Casey.
Know the names. Exactly. That's my issue with it too.
Unless that was her deal.
Well, she was setting him up.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Mrs. Loomis was setting Mickey up. And so she wanted him to come along with her so that she could set him up for take the fall for all the killings. Yeah. So it might have been her ideas. Sounds like she was more of the brains of the operation.
Oh yeah, she definitely was. But even her, like I don't see her connecting those as well. Like it just that whole connection thing seemed a little off once we find out who the killers were and what their motivations were.
I think it was just you had such a big opening for the first one, so you had to do something big for the second one. It's kind of like with Saw, how you have to have that twist at the end. I feel like Scream,
you have to for every.
Yeah, you have to have that big opening, and you had Jada.
As awesome as they are, it kind of shoots themselves in the foot, like having these openings or having these like crazy twist endings.
Yeah,
because now it's expected of you. For every movie going forward.
Yeah. So,
but this is a thing though, is I wouldn't have as much of an issue with it if they hadn't made the whole name connection.
Yeah.
It's the name connection that really kills it for me.
Well, there has to be a connection, though,
really?
Right?
No, there didn't have to be, because the purpose of it was to show that the movies made me do this.
Yeah.
So, one, for Mrs. Loomis, allowing him to have this as his thing, thinking that this is what they're going to use, helps get his buy-in.
Right.
And him using this and getting excited and getting all pumped with it is, that's how he is getting started.
Right.
And so it makes sense. And
but why them, I guess, is the question.
There is no rhyme or reason why them.
Yeah.
Jada was being loud in the theater.
Yeah.
And so maybe at that point is when he was like, oh, okay, these are the guys I'm going to get because they're being so loud and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so then she leaves. And so then he's like, perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and, if he heard anything that she was saying, she was very anti-horror.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
She deserved it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
And
you can't go into a horror movie and be anti-horror.
Yeah, you will die.
Yeah. And so it all, to me, that is all viable. That's all fine.
Right.
It's the fact that they tried to connect the names, because it's like, how did they know their names?
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
How did they know what their names even were?
Yeah. Yeah, were they
Unless they were both at the same college.
Yeah, were they also students there? I don't know.
Yeah, they could have been students at that college.
Yeah, they were, because Sydney said she was in my class.
Yeah, they did mention
that.
Yeah.
But still,
the connection, the whole need to connect with the names was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
And it's far-fetched.
Drew Barrymore was also in her class. I remember that from the first one. So it's everyone. That's. I don't remember her saying that in the second one, but I guess it could make sense. I mean, they're not in Woodsboro anymore in this movie.
No.
They're.
I don't know if they say.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They're not in California though. Know that because they were talking about one of the people watching the movie when she goes to get popcorn. They're like, this is based on a true story of these kids in high school in California.
Yeah. California, yeah.
So I would assume you wouldn't say that if you lived in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So. But I don't think they really say where it takes place.
Wherever it was, both Sydney and Randy both got into the same college.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Gail is the news person in that little town too?
Well, she shows up. She follows. I think she didn't live there.
Well, she's got a new news anchor, a new cameraman.
Yeah.
In this one, so she's
just following the stories. I think though.
Mm-hmm.
I think she shows up because of the first killings. At the stab opening. So there is a really funny line where there's a few of them talking, and someone says, like, ever since those nude pictures came out of you, to Gail, about her, like, attitude or something. And she's like, hey, that was just my head. That was Jennifer Aniston's body.
Yeah.
So that was funny. That was a good one. So I like that part.
Gotta mention your co-star in that.
Yeah. And Friends was getting co-star. Real big at that point. So
yeah.
Okay, but I like the opening scene. I thought it was cool. Just the wild movie theater was just, but it was funny. So it kind of made me laugh, and the way that the crowd's like reacting to the movie on the screen and stuff. Like she's like putting back her robe on. And they're like, oh,
yeah,
that was funny. But what is weird, and like I'm thinking way too seriously about this movie, but how would Gail know all these details? She wasn't there for some of the stuff that they show in the Stab movie. She wasn't there for that. So how does she know that stuff? Like when Luke Wilson, she got a screening of it before it was released, and in theaters.
Well, the thing is she has connections with talking to like all the different people involved.
But Sydney would not talk to her.
No, but Sydney was talking to other people about it.
Yeah. So it could have been secondhand. Yeah, because there's one part where the Sydney character walks down the hall and bumps into the Billy character, which is Luke Wilson, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And that like exactly happens in the first Scream. Like they bump into each other after he got out of jail.
And it's like almost word for word.
Yeah.
From the first movie.
Yeah.
And then Randy's like, I'll wait for it on video or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is exactly what the first movie was. But
So let's go ahead and grade it.
All right.
What do you think, Joel?
I'm going to give this one an 87.
87?
It's not A material, but I still really enjoy it.
Okay. I'm gonna go 74.
Oh wow! All right.
Like I said, the more I watch it each time, the less I like it, and it's just it really doesn't have that rewatch ability. If you haven't seen it, like the first time I saw it, and maybe like second or third, I enjoyed it. But this last time watching it, I was like, this is okay.
Yeah.
So
something that you said what reminded me of something.
Okay.
You said it doesn't have that rewatchability.
Yeah.
This is something I noticed with this movie. I remembered like everything that was going to happen.
Okay.
With the first movie, I could watch that over and over again, and even though I know what's going to happen, I know the killers, it still felt fun to watch.
Yeah.
This one, it was just like, okay, let's wait for this to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
I know this.
It's not as fun, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's like, once you know who the killers are, it's kind of just like, okay, The other one, it was like, it's still fun to watch, even though you know the twists.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was something that was interesting to me.
Yeah.
I will give this an 85.
85.
Okay. Slightly less than mine.
Yeah, Joel an 87. So
okay.
Nice. All right, so we'll see where Scream 3 falls.
Yeah.
I have to watch it. I have not watched anything
you've
after
never
Scream
seen...
2.
No, that is Cap.
No, it's not.
Yes, when I bought this pack, we watched them all. It was
I
a
don't
couple years
remember
ago
watching
at this point, but...
anything. I don't remember anything after.
Okay. Well, it'll be a fresh watch.
I
for
can't
the
wait
second
for
time.
that review.
No, I don't think I ever watched it, but okay. Yeah, after Scream 2, it was like, all right, this is done.
Yeah. Well, Scream 3 is they're filming Stab 4, Stab 3 or something, or Stab 2 maybe. So it's like on set of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And something familiar. You will remember is Gail. Her bangs are really weird.
Talk about her hair, her hairstyle.
Like right after this, we're turning that on.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that the biggest takeaway you guys have about Scream 3? Is her hairstyle?
I remember you made a comment like, "What is up with her hair?" So
I
weird.
do not remember ever watching this with you.
Okay. Well,
I can't wait for that review.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll be doing that one, and then Scream 4, and then Scream.
Yes. 5. Yeah.
But we still have a ways to wait before Scream comes out, right?
It's January.
Yeah. Oh, it's January?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was June.
Oh, I think I said that in the last review. It was January.
Well, I got the J.
Pay attention.
And any J month is June to me.
Yeah.
So...
All right. Well, this has been our review for Scream 2. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let cotton bite.
Oh.